What's up, YouTube fans? Today I'm going to be reviewing the Yes model YM-05 by BB7 Toys, otherwise known as KO Thrust. So this guy kind of comes along with the lines of the other cone heads. They're releasing them and they're sort of like the Takara version of the cone heads, except they're made some molding changes. They're not quite the same as the original Takara version. So I'm not going to cover the box this time. It's very plain. It just has the YM-05 on it. So they did ship this, inside another box, and there was not really anything special about the packaging, but this happened. The bottom corner kind of got messed up and cracked. Luckily the figure does not have any issue. The figure itself is completely fine. It's just the box is broken. So not a big deal. I'm not sure why that happened. So here you have the YM-05 figure and a whole bunch of accessories. You do get the missiles. You get the flight stand here. You get the little hologram pilots. You get the gun clip. Now, I'm not going to take the gun clip or the Megatron gun out. It's literally the same thing that we got before. Exact same gun. Excuse me. No Decepticon logo on there. So, same thing. No reason to go over that. I'm really going to just focus on this guy right here and kind of the quality of this figure. So first things first, I don't have the Takara version of this, so I can't do a comparison today, unfortunately. We're really just going to have to do it by images. So what I'll do is put an image up here of the Takara version, so you can kind of compare as we go through. And this guy does feel pretty good, as far as quality. It feels like it's pretty solid. It has literally the same features as the looks like I took this out last time. I forgot to put it back here. It has literally the same features as the Takara version. You've got the nose cone piece here. You got the pop-up air brake. Actually, that's nice and smooth. Usually it's kind of stuck. That one's pretty good. You got the moving rockets, or the thrusters. These still move, which is interesting. I don't know if the Takara ones actually move. These do not spin. These are solid in place. And also, they're not painted on the bottom. You could probably take this out and paint it if you wanted to, but they're not painted. In terms of the landing gear, you still get these down here. And they work just fine. And this one, same thing. Just like the original versions. Actually, I remember the Takara versions, the landing gear didn't really work very well. These seem to roll just fine. All the wheels roll, so not bad. And then you can open up the cockpit and you can put the pilot in there. I'm not going to waste any time doing that. But that's really about it for the vehicle mode in terms of the figure itself. Now, it does come with this gigantic bag of accessories, so we're going to go through this just to see what's in here. It's quite a bit of stuff. They didn't give you instruction manual or a trading card. I don't know if they just forgot or decided they weren't going to do it because, I don't know, they didn't want to include it, or it was just too much work. I did get this again from eBay, from Baba Bobo, same guy. It does come with the same kind of logos we've been getting with the BB7 toys, the rub decals, and those are nice. And you also get a bunch of different weapons here, so we'll kind of go over them. It looks like they come in two pieces, so you kind of stick them together. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it looks like they fit over the other weapon. You can kind of combine them, combine them together like that. So I think you can, if you like this big fat weapon, you can sort of put it on here like this. I don't really understand why someone would want to do that, but the option is there. Let's take a look and see how this looks. And it still retains the peg on the top, so you can plug this back into the wing. So the actual pin is on a slider, so you can move that around. So let's try that again. I didn't have it slid. That's probably because in vehicle or robot mode you can kind of move things around, and they want you to be able to attach this either way. So yeah, so if you move that up, you can definitely get it into the slot. There you go. You've got these gigantic missiles. I think that looks really dumb. I actually prefer this. I don't remember him with that either, to be honest. You also, let's take that off. So you do have that option. It's nice that they gave the option. I'm not going to be using that. You also have these little missiles which attach to, looks like the bottom of the thrusters. Right here. There you go. And that does look pretty good. So let's attach these guns back on. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I like the look of these missiles. They are hollow on one side, but I believe that's actually can be used in robot mode maybe, so that's why. Let's just get this on here. Yeah, so that's a good look for this guy. The two missiles and the two guns. I feel like that's a good look. Now you can have this, the red colored missiles. I prefer the black. I think it actually looks a little bit more realistic. I think these are the toy colors, these red ones. And they don't fire anything that look like they're actually really sharp. I almost cut myself here. These are really, really sharp, so you gotta be careful, but I don't really plan on using these. I don't understand why someone would want these, but basically what you could do is take this off the pin and then attach this one back onto the same pin, and then you can plug it in. Now I put it on backwards, but it basically does the same job. But my opinion, I don't think that looks so great. So I would stick with the original black colored ones. I think those are supposed to be a little more toy accurate than the maroon ones. So a lot of options here. They really give you a lot of weapons. I'm not really sure why they're giving you so much. In some cases, I think I'd actually prefer to have had the instruction manual, and the collector's card. I don't really need all these weapons. I just need one set, just these. That's all you really need. But it's good that they give the options for different collectors who like different colors. Now, you do have these little pieces. So let me get all this other stuff out of the way. Oh, you also get this alternate head, which actually is pretty nice. It's a nice sculpt. I'm impressed how the quality on this thing. I was expecting it to be pretty crappy. It's quite nice. Now, these, let's get rid of the landing gear here. These little pieces, there's no instructions, so it's not clear where these go. Alright guys, forgot one thing. Here's the stand. It does fit on the stand very nicely. It's actually a nice looking stand. It's a kind of a smoked color for the horizontal part here, and then you got a black stand. It has all the same features as others. I also forgot to show you these missiles. You can kind of have everything mounted at once. You can either have the longer ones on the outside and the smaller ones on the inside, or you can have it like this, where you have the missiles over here. And I mean, you can really arm this guy up to the nines here. You got a lot of choices, so that's kind of cool. I like that you just have so many different options. It really does look good with the black weaponry there. There's quite a bit of weapons. So, all right, we'll get this guy transformed into robot mode, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back from transforming, and this guy's pretty cool. You know, I'm actually impressed. I wasn't, you know, I'm not a big Conehead fan, to be honest, and I didn't think I'd like this, but it's actually pretty good. So let me just explain why I think it's good. So number one, the paint. It's really painted very, very, very nicely. There's a lot of little like black accents and stuff like that, which is kind of strange because the original character didn't have that stuff. Again, I'll put a image of this guy from the G1 cartoon up here in the corner. But, you know, this stuff is pretty consistent with his G1 image, and, I mean, they're a little off, but he didn't really have these black stripes or these black, this was all gray. And, you know, a lot of the black accents on him were actually gray in the G1 cartoon. So this guy's kind of a mix or an amalgamation of the Toy World, I'm sorry. Not Toy World. The gosh, I can't remember the name now. The company that made third-party Coneheads, but mixed with the Takara version. So it's interesting. You know, it's actually kind of cool. The face sculpt, by the way, is pretty cool. Let's get in close here and take a look at it. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't really look like the G1 cartoon, but then again, the animation changed a lot. You know, depending on what episode you were watching, you could have this darker gunmetal, and I love the color on this, the gunmetal gray and the bright orange eyes. It's really cool. But depending on what episode you were watching, you'd get different heads. But what I really like about this guy is he's so many options for displaying him. So first of all, you can still have these things attached if you want to. On the back of these, you can have them just like that. So that's one of the cool things you can do if you want to. Another thing that you can do is you can take the wings, and so they really gave you some adjustability here. So first of all, you've got this piece here, a little joint there that lets you angle this in and out. So you can kind of have it, you know, angled back or straight, whichever you prefer. But they also have, you know, the standard piece, and this is how the MP11 mold came. It had this little flipping piece that pinned in up here, and that's still true. You still take the pin and you stick it in up here. Bear with me here. It's a little bit tight, but you can get it in there. You just gotta work on it a little bit. I'm having a little bit of trouble. Let's angle this back and try to, okay, there we go. So that went in there. Now you can have it like that, but that looks pretty dumb because you've got the you got this top part sticking out there. So what you're really supposed to do is take this, flip it around like that, and you kind of got to get things out of the way, but then flip this up and put that into place. And it is kind of tough to get in there, so you gotta have to, there you go. So that's really the other look, is to have it up like that. So you just take this and flip it around, and then you can stick it right back in. And I love that you can have either look. You know, you can choose the look that you like the best. And this isn't, you know, G1 accurate, clearly, but it's just nice to have the option to be able to display him like this, you know, with the wings up and sort of out of the way. I mean, this matches the MP11 mold because you've got the wings sort of splayed out like this, but they've added this extra little, you know, joint here so you can angle this back. And I love that they give you that option. And these do seem to be falling out a little bit. Everything on here is pretty tight, actually, to be honest. Every joint is tight. The other thing is you have the option of folding these back, kind of like the MP10 mold, where the rear destabilizers fold back, or you can have them out like that. And that's more like the G1 cartoon. I believe they stuck out this way. And I actually think there was a Decepticon logo here too. So very nice options, a lot of choices here on how you want to display your figure, and they both look good. You know, that's the thing. They both choices are really, you know, acceptable. They're fine. Now you do get an alternate head here, so we'll just take a look at that. You can change out the head. It's just on a ball peg, and actually the ball peg's a little tight. It doesn't quite articulate, you know, it kind of bounces back because it's not really in the right position. I mean, you can move it back and forth like that, and it's supposed to angle up, but when you angle it up it comes off, so it's not quite right. But here's the other head, and again, there were certain episodes where he looked like this. If I can find an image, I'll put it on the screen for you. But it's a good head. I mean, it looks good. I like it. You know, they really didn't. They really did a great job with the head sculpts here. Both of them. They both look good. And I like that they give you option. This one's a little weird. I think it's more like a clown face. Also, the fact that it's an angle up kind of makes it weird too. But yeah, it's a good head sculpt. You also have, and I'm sorry, my pose is pretty horrible here. But he does pose quite nicely. It's got all the same articulation. I'm not going to go over articulation on this review just because he's got the exact same articulation as the other MP10 molds and the cone heads from Takara. Alright guys, sorry for the cutaway there. I was looking into these. These do not fit on this guy. These aren't intended for him. These are for their Ramjet figure, which hasn't come out yet. I'm not sure why they included it with this guy. It's almost like, you know, like a third party now. They're acting like a third party company and giving you accessories for other releases, which is really interesting. You know, that they're going to that level. So let me just kind of summarize on this guy. You know, in robot mode, I really do think it's well done. You know, it doesn't match it perfectly with the G1 cartoon, but the quality on this thing is really outstanding. It's really solid. It doesn't come apart. I remember seeing the Takara version. It was just such a floppy, ugly mess, and this is nice. You know, you have a couple options of displaying him. You know, you don't have to have him in the, you know, wings down or wings up. You can choose. You also have this option here. I don't think that option exists on the Takara version. You had to have them out. So all in all, I'm very happy with this guy. He does have the same, you know, gimmick there with the missiles, and you can put the big gun on his arm. Let's see if that looks any better. I didn't think it looked great in the airplane mode. Let's see if it's any better in the vehicle mode. Sorry, in the robot mode. Yeah, that's just too big. It's too big. I don't know why they include this. I don't know what it's for, but obviously that's too big for this guy. It just doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, I don't think the G1 cartoon had those missiles on it. In fact, I'm just taking a look. It looks like he had the regular Seeker guns on him. So I'm not sure what the, I mean, these are like ramjets thing. Maybe they're including parts for ramjet for this guy. I don't know. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe they're giving you the ramjet parts with this guy, and then when you get ramjet, he's not going to have this stuff in it. And maybe that's why they gave you this too. That's for ramjet. So that's kind of interesting. I guess they're expecting people to buy all their stuff. By the way, this is nicely painted. It's like got a nice gunmetal gray on it, and even this, it's got that nice gunmetal color on it. And you can attach it here in the back. It does look nice. Or you can have them down like that. Actually, I think that probably looks better. But yeah, just overall very happy with this release. The paint quality is also really good. So just getting close here, everything's clean. You know, I don't see any mess ups anywhere, including this head. Now let's get this head off, because this head's not really the best, and it does tend to like get stuck a little bit. Sorry about that. You do get this wing popping off quite a bit, but especially for manipulating it. But yeah, that face just looks awesome. I think that's such a nice face sculpt. I really like that. I think that was the better choice. Some people say they like the Takara face sculpt a little better than this guy, but for me, this is fine. You know, originally I wasn't even planning to keep this guy. I didn't think I would like it, and I'm not a Conehead fan, but this is honestly pretty good for, I think I got it for $85 on eBay from Baba Bobo, and definitely a good figure. I'm really surprised by how nice this is. I wasn't expecting it. BB7 Toys keeps making incredibly nice toys, and they include everything. I mean, you just got more than you could possibly want in terms of accessories. I will be applying these stickers. I'll probably apply these and then take a couple pictures and put it up on my Facebook page. So if you really care to see how this guy looks with the Decepticon logos, you can check out my Facebook page for those. But that's it, guys. That's really all I want to cover in this review. You know, we'll get them onto the stand here, but we've covered this mold before many times, so it's really not worthwhile to go over articulation, all that. It's all the same as the other figures. So it really is, it's a good, well-built MP11 mold that serves the purpose of having a masterpiece thrust. You know, and I feel, at least by the images that I've seen and by the reviews, this is actually a better figure than the Takara. It just seems to have a little more balance, a little more composure, and it's not so floppy. And the colors are pretty good. Now, obviously, the colors on the Takara is going to be more accurate to the G1 toy, but I still think this cuts it. This meets my needs. All right, guys. So we'll see you next time. I'm really hoping to get the Masterpiece Cyclonus from X-Transbots, their Elegos figure. That guy has gotten delayed a few times. I know it's very close to being released, but it hasn't made its way out yet. So as soon as we get that, we'll get that reviewed. We'll also doing our 2016 year-end review and trying to pick the top figure for the year. All right, so we have those to look forward to. Please leave me comments if you have any questions, or if you know where some of these things go. I'm pretty sure this goes on Ramjet, but if you know about any of these other stuff, let me know. All right, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.